chords. Bar chords can be difficult no matter how long you've been playing. So I want to give you a couple tips and pointers for the best way to go about placing bar chords down, or just to develop better ability in your fingers for, placing and changing to bar chords. The first thing you want to do is check your posture, how you're sitting down with the guitar. I have free videos on my website at www.edkime.com. They're on the lessons page and they're free, how to sit down with the guitar, whether it's an acoustic or an electric. And that'll make a big difference in everything that you play. So let's get started on this bar chord. This is a G chord. It's one of the most common bar chord formations. This is at the 3rd fret. When you place this chord down, or any bar chord like this, it's best to start with your 2nd finger. So I'm going to take you through the process here and then explain why. First, place your 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. The next thing you want to do is make sure your thumb is behind your 2nd finger. Then you want to place your 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the 5th string. Then the 4th finger on the 5th fret of the 4th string. My 1st finger is being placed last, and you start by placing your fingertip on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and then you clamp towards the higher strings with your hand. Don't try to put all that pressure on your finger. Now I'm going to take you through the process again and show you why you want to do this. So we're starting with the 2nd finger, not with the 1st finger. The one thing I see people do all the time when they're trying to do bar chords, they place their 1st finger down right away and it throws their hand back this way, and it makes it harder to reach with the rest of the fingers. So you start by placing the 2nd finger on the 3rd fret, or I'm sorry, the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and then you take your thumb and you place it behind, directly behind that 2nd finger, just as if your thumb is against your 2nd finger with the neck in between. What this does is it opens up space between the palm of your hand and the neck. The next thing you're going to do is place the 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the 5th string. When you place that 3rd finger down, you can see it turns your hand in a better, more parallel position with the neck. Your palm is in a parallel position with the neck, and your fingers are in a parallel position with your frets. So 2nd finger down first, thumb behind the 2nd finger, 3rd finger, then the 4th finger. Now my 1st finger is not even down yet, because the most important thing that you want to develop in your bar chords is the arching of your fingers. Alright, this is a real important part of getting the chord to sound good. Don't press too hard. You don't have to press too hard if your fingers are in a good position on the frets. The next thing you do is you put your 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, just your fingertip. And you'll notice if you look at it at this angle, this part of my finger is not even on the strings yet. But when you put that part of your finger down, you just watch my hand, you're just going to clamp back a little bit. So now I only have pressure on my fingertip here and the part of my finger that's holding the first 2 strings. There's the bar chord, G bar chord at the 3rd fret. I don't have any pressure on my finger where my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers are. Okay, now there's another bar chord position, the C minor bar chord at the same frets. And you would go through the same procedure for the C minor. I'll take you through that. Place your 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the 2nd string. Thumb placed behind the 2nd finger, opens up space between the palm of the hand and the neck. 3rd finger placed on the 5th fret of the 4th string, turning your hand in a better parallel position. Then the 4th finger on the 5th fret of the 3rd string. 1st finger is last, placing that on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, and then clamp back towards the 1st string. So you want to minimize the amount of pressure that you place on all of your fingers, because it makes bar chords playing bar chords easier. Now if you're a beginner, I wouldn't recommend starting with bar chords. I have on my website the complete basic rhythm course, and in that course there's a section called tips and exercises to help you with chord changes. So if you're a beginner, you would have to become a subscriber, but you would learn all about strumming and changing chords, and you would work with easier open string position chords and learn the basic changes first. Now if you're a more advanced player or an intermediate player and you're still struggling with bar chords and you find you get a lot of cramping in your hand and your wrist or arm, what you want to do is minimize the amount of pressure that you put on the bar chords. Check your posture. Even if you're standing with the guitar, it's better to keep the guitar tipped up. But if you have a song that has a lot of bar chords, it starts to put a lot of stress on the hand. One of the things you could do to minimize that stress is always re-grip the chord, because it just to move your fingers all the time, it helps so your hand doesn't get cramped up. So if you do what I just told you, by tomorrow your bar chords will be perfect and you'll never have a problem with them again. No, that's not the way it works. But if you take some time to implement this procedure in your practice, over time you'll develop the ability into your hand so that you'll get better results out of your bar chords. So remember the simple steps: 2, 3, 4, 1, clamp, and you got bar chord. Check out my website at www.edkime.com. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.